In your competency-based curriculum, competency number 47.5 is describe and demonstrate stomach under following headings. That is anatomical position, external and internal features, important peritoneal and other relations, blood supply, nerve supply, lymphatic drainage and applied aspects. The stomach is also called as gaster or venter. The adjective gastric derived from this is used to describe various functions of stomach as gastric functions and hormones and juices secreted by stomach as gastric hormones and gastric juices. The stomach is the widest and most distensible part of the gastrointestinal tract. It acts as reservoir of food and helps in digestion of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. The first subcompetency is anatomical position. The anatomical position of abdominal viscera is always described in relation to these 9 quadrants of abdomen which you have already studied. When we consider the anatomical position of stomach, it lies obliquely in the upper and left part of abdomen, occupying epigastric, left hypochondriac and umbilical region. The cardiac end of stomach is directed upward, greater curvature is towards left, and the pyloric end is directed downward and slightly to the right of median plane. The next subcompetency is external features. The abdominal part of esophagus opens into stomach and the pyloric part of stomach continues as duodenum. When we consider the shape of stomach, it is J-shape when empty or slightly filled. It becomes pyramidal shape when distended and it lies horizontally in obese individuals, and in cadavers it is cecal shaped structure, and the shape of this stomach is studied with the help of a special X-ray which is known as barium mill. The capacity of stomach in adults is about 1.5 to 2 liters. At puberty it is about 1 liter and it is about 30 to 50 ml in newborn. External features of stomach can be remembered by a formula of 2. It has 2 ends, cardiac end and pyloric end. It has 2 sphincters. Cardiac sphincter is located at cardiac end and pyloric sphincter is located at pyloric end. It has 2 borders. This is lesser curvature which is right border and greater curvature which is left border. It has 2 surfaces, antero-superior surface and postero-inferior surface. This is cardiac end. Here esophagus continues as stomach and it is also known as gastroesophageal junction. This is cardiac end. It lies behind 7th intercostal space, 2.5 centimeters from sternum and at the level of T11 vertebra. It is located 10 centimeters deep to anterior abdominal wall and 40 centimeters away from the incisor teeth. Cardiac sphincter is located at cardiac end. It is physiological sphincter and there is no evidence of anatomical sphincter here. This is pyloric end of stomach and it opens into first part of duodenum. It is located 1.5 cm right to the median plane at the lower border of L1 vertebra. A well-defined pyloric sphincter is located at pyloric end and it is formed by aggregation of circular pyloric muscle. Stomach has 2 borders, right border which is known as lesser curvature and left border which is known as greater curvature. Lesser curvature or right border, it is somewhat J-shape. It is more fixed, forms the right border and lies on more posterior plane than greater curvature. The most dependable part of lesser curvature is known as incisura angularis. This is incisura angularis and it extends slightly below the transpyloric plane. Lesser curvature of stomach gives attachment to lesser omentum. This is lesser omentum. This lesser curvature gives attachment to two layers of lesser omentum and contains anastomosis of right and left gastric vessels near the lesser curvature. Greater curvature, it forms the left border of stomach. It is more superficial, more movable and 4 to 5 times larger than lesser curvature. This greater curvature begins at cardiac notch on the left side of cardiac orifice and arches upward and backward, and with a convexity it extends downward up to the pyloric end. This greater curvature gives attachment to the gastrophrenic ligament at cardiac end, gastrosphenic ligament at near the fundus, and it gives attachment to greater omentum in throughout its length. This greater omentum contains anastomosis of right and left gastroepiploic arteries near the greater curvature. The stomach is mainly divided into two parts, that is cardiac part and pyloric part, by a line extending from this incisura angularis to the greater curvature. This cardiac part is again divided into two parts, that is fundus of stomach and body of stomach, by a line which passes from this cardiac notch towards the greater curvature. The pyloric part is divided into two parts. The proximal part is pyloric. Pyloric part is divided into pyloric antrum and pyloric canal by the sulcus intermedius. So here we can see the four parts of stomach. This is fundus, body, then pyloric antrum and pyloric canal. In living, the position of pyloric canal is identified by this prepyloric vein of Mayo, and this is of surgical importance. The stomach is cut open to study its internal. In the upper part of stomach, muscularis externa is seen. Here you can see the longitudinal layer, this is circular layer, and this is the oblique layer of muscle. When stomach is empty, its interior shows numerous mucosal folds, and these mucosal folds are called as rugae. Along the lesser curvature, these rugae or mucosal folds are longitudinally placed. These longitudinally placed rugae isolate a part which is called as gastric canal. Here, this is gastric canal. This gastric canal permits faster passage of fluids along the lesser curvature. Thus, the mucosa along the lesser curvature is subjected to maximum insult because of spicy food, alcohol, or other irritable fluids, hence is often a site of ulcer. You can also see pyloric muscle at the pyloric end. Peritoneal relation. Stomach is covered by peritoneum all over except a small triangular area near the cardiac end which is called as bare area of stomach. Peritoneal folds and ligaments associated with stomach are greater omentum, lesser omentum, gastrophrenic ligament and gastrosplenic ligament. We have seen that greater omentum is attached to the greater curvature of stomach, and from here it hangs down to the transverse colon. Lesser omentum is attached to the lesser curvature of stomach and from here it extends to the liver. Gastrophrenic ligament is attached to the cardiac end of stomach, and the gastrosplenic ligament is attached to the fundus of stomach. Now we'll see the visceral relations of stomach, and we will be studying these visceral relations under these two subheadings, that is anterior visceral relations and posterior visceral relations. Anteriorly, the stomach is related to left lobe of liver, diaphragm, and more anteriorly to the ventral abdominal wall. Posterior visceral relations form stomach bed. Posteriorly, stomach is covered by the peritoneum of lesser sac and forms a shallow fossa on which various organs rest, which form stomach bed. The stomach bed is formed by diaphragm, left kidney, left suprarenal, splenic artery, pancreas, transverse mesocolon, transverse colon, and left colic flexion. So dear students, up till now we have covered three sub-competencies, that is anatomical position, external and internal features, and relations of stomach. The remaining competencies will be covered in the next part of lecture. So till then, stay safe. Thank you.